What's up, world? It's your boy Ira Moshe Wright, and we here for the third episode of Golden Street Speaks. Make some noise, everybody. Make some noise. This is a special episode, you know. We got our first guest host, one of our good friends, Savannah. Savannah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Definitely. Hello, everybody. Happy last day of the year. We are here in Chicago. I made a trip out to visit some of the Wright brothers. I'm very, very excited to be here to continue what has been an amazing collaboration since I have met them and unity. So, yeah, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about where I'm from, what brought me here, and anything else that you guys want to ask. They said basically that some of the people watching this are not going to know who I am because they'll probably know who the two of them are, which makes sense. And I'm pleased to introduce myself to some new communities. So basically, I'm originally from New York, and I've also lived in Miami and in LA for a time. So I consider those all places to have raised me. And right now, I call New York and Miami my home bases. But who knows, maybe I'll come out to the Chi. It's pretty nice here, although I'll be honest with you, today it's snowing, and I was not expecting that. I'm so glad I brought some little boots because it's cold outside. I'm not a big fan of the winter, so anyway, this is a beautiful city. I'm humbled to be here. I'm an entrepreneur, an educator, a scientist. I have a very diverse background. Lately, I've been working towards building financial freedom, and that to me looks like being involved in the investment funds world. And I'm happy to share more about that as well as some like lifestyle things as we get into this talk today. Who do I hand the mic back to?
Did you want to say something, Mom? Man,
Talk to the people, man.
Talk to the people. Talk to the people. Man, a quick note, whenever you're on a Golden Street Speaks podcast, at least at these early stages, you know, it's best to talk directly into the mic this way because it's...
Oh, okay, it's not out of the top.
Yeah, it's not at the top. Right.
I'm new.
But you still got it, though. That's
Okay,
a good recording.
It
It's
came
definitely
through.
a good recording. I heard it.
All right. That's what's up.
Wait till the people walking past, you know what I'm saying? Right, they might want to come in. Check this guy, he's about to walk in. We shooting the podcast, but he's going to, okay, pass the bag off and pass the
He's coming
baton.
back, though.
He might come back. Maybe he's looking for a bathroom. He's probably going to ask us. Man, okay, we here, Golden Street Speaks. I'm over here really narrating what we seeing around us. Like, I wish we had like some small cameras on the outside so y'all can see people walking past, and maybe that's what we get going in the future. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be really cool.
Definitely want to thank God for allowing us to be here, giving us the opportunity to record, giving us the opportunity to use our voices to spread light, you know, and we ask that God guides this conversation and that everything we say gives edification. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Hello.
We from Texas, we do podcasts. That's our company.
Okay.
On my way back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Power Play, Don Willis, Trudy, my wife. Power Play Podcast TV,
Okay.
Dallas, Texas.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We recording a
Happy New Year.
podcast now. That's what we doing. He
I
probably,
see y'all, yeah.
he probably. He seen the mic and knew off back. Came through. Guy named Donald Willis, studio manager. We downtown Chicago. We underground in the Pedway. Power Play Podcast TV. He really just got some free promo. Free promo. He walked in. We didn't lock the door because we're still working on the sound and stuff like that, but it's all good, you know.
We each got one, too.
Yeah. We got Savannah here on the podcast. This is a, beautiful moment. I met Savannah. It's almost been about a year now, I would say. Maybe a little less than a year. Connected through a good friend, Ibrahim. Brought us together for a mission to make $1 million.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So currently we the millionaires in progress. So just know that we trying to get to this money, these manyans. Have you made $1 million yet?
I have
Savannah?
not.
No, Moshe.
Well, not by myself.
No, I haven't made $1 million yet, but soon to come.
Yeah. Soon come. Not yet. No,
Soon.
not yet.
Yeah. So we are aiming for $1 million at some point. We close. How close? I think I might be in debt.
That's okay. So are most millionaires.
Most millionaires are in debt?
Yes.
Can you explain?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of debt. There's good debt, there's bad debt. And I guess depending on, well, your cultural norms, your preferences, any type of debt might be bad to you. But if we're offering the perspective that there is such a thing as good debt, which I believe, then it really just depends on what the debt is for. And if you've got a plan to repay it and how. For example, I've had no debt and I've been in debt and then back to no debt and then back to debt, sometimes for good things, other times for bad. But most millionaires are in debt because they leverage it in order to acquire more assets through something maybe like real estate, for example. But anyway, that's like the short of it.
To anybody watching this podcast, I'm in debt to you.
Yeah.
I'm here to serve you. I want to see how we can grow and build, you know. So I'm in debt. There's good debt out there, and I'm in debt.
Man, real estate, man, I want to own so many cribs, man. I really want to buy, like, my next big purchase, I want it to be a house. Like, I want it to be a home. Like, if not a home, maybe like a full flat apartment building, you feel me? Something decent, you feel me? I could just make something I can make money off of, or something I could just own for my family or for myself. You know, because me personally, before I start a family, I want to have a home. You feel me? I want to already have a home, already been living in my own home for maybe a year, 2 years. No telling, but I want to own some type of real estate before I even bring a child into the. I don't have any kids. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got 3 kids. Don't listen to that, man.
He said another child. What's up, man?
But yeah, before I bring any kids into the world, I definitely want to own some type of real estate. What about y'all?
So, yeah, do you want to hear a time that I tried to buy a house and it failed?
Yeah.
Okay, well, because, I thought similarly to you that I wanted to get into real estate as soon as possible. And actually, I had this, like, big idea for a business, but the only way for me to be able to get a loan for the business would have been if I had gotten a house to put as collateral. Anyway, that's, like, what I had been taught from the beginning. And so I thought the first step in me being able to get a business loan or some type of financing for a startup would be to go into real estate. And I did all these different trips to try and get into the right kind of real estate, and looked into, making money off of properties, what it would mean to buy a farm, what it would mean to invest in an apartment building, things like that. Well, I traveled to Puerto Rico, I traveled to Florida, I looked at places in Texas and in the Midwest to kind of see what would make sense management-wise, and to buy a property and potentially rent out some of the units. Man, I learned a lot in the process. I basically, this was in 2020. Do you want to hear more about this? Yeah. Okay. Well, because I think it's kind of important. Sometimes people ask me about my real estate because they try and figure out how it is that I'm able to, not hold a consistent job over time. And that's because I get passive income from real estate. I used to help a partner doing that. But anyway, so this is specifically about the time that I failed in buying an actual house. I found a duplex. It was in the Florida Keys, and it was super nice. It was for a really good price. The family that had lived there before wanted to upsize. They were just moving to another location in the Keys. When you get into real estate, you'll learn that something called comparables are really important to the appraisal process, which is just where somebody tells you what the value of a house is. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but that's for another podcast. So basically, sometimes it's tough because there aren't comparable, right? So other houses in the same area that have the same qualifications as these houses. So for example, mine was a duplex. There weren't a lot of other duplexes in the area. So they had to widen the zip codes that they were checking. Here's where it got kind of messy. I went back and forth on a contract. It was going great. I got approved for a mortgage at a 2.25 interest rate, which is insanely low. It was such a lucky thing, but by the time we got all the way through the process, I had a terrible experience with the inspection, by the way. It was really weird. I had to use a couple different companies. But the point is, I get all the way down through this whole entire process, learning so much about property. There was already a tenant there living there, so I could just basically make a very slight income. But from the beginning, if I decided to like move down there, etc., all of the expenses for the house would have been paid by the one tenant pretty much. So you'd be at least breaking even on the house if you chose to live in the other unit. Anyway, we get to like the very, very last week, and I ended up not being able to get approved for the loan type because the individual units in the apartment were not separate from like their bathroom and the kitchen area, so they couldn't call it an official duplex, and they got me like that. And basically, once a major mortgage lender had put me on unlendable for that property, I wasn't able to get financing anywhere else that would make sense for me to actually purchase it, because otherwise I would have had to increase my down payment. I know I said a lot of things there, but hopefully some of it made sense. But it was a crazy first experience about why my like housing attempt failed. And I brought that up just to say that like it's never really clean how you might get into real estate, and there are so many different moving parts. But I would say from the beginning, like think bigger, always think about kind of like putting in the same amount of effort to get the actual return that you're interested in, because I wasn't really going to be making a ton of money off of that property, and I kind of feel like it was a blessing in disguise for how it kind of didn't work out for me, you know? Anyway.
How old are you, Savannah?
I'm 27. Yeah, my birthday's coming up in a few weeks, but yeah.
You turning 27 on your birthday?
I'm turning 28.
You turning 27?
Yes. And what's funny is this year, my birthday is on a Wednesday, which is the day I was actually born on. So that's kind of cool. It's been a while since it's been on a Wednesday.
Would you say this is a special year for you, going into your birthday? It's a new year.
When's your birthday?
It's on January 17th.
January 17th.
Yes, that's my birthday.
January 17th.
Yeah, it's the same day as like, let me think, Ben Franklin, Jim Carrey, I'm pretty sure.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Same
sure.
birthday as Jim Carrey?
I think so.
That's a good one.
We were talking earlier about doing an action comedy.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, Moshe thinks that we should be doing a rom-com instead. What do you think we should be
Do a
doing?
rom-com with action.
This would-
Inside the rom-com.
To anybody watching this podcast right now, listening to this podcast right now, especially if you know me personally, let's make a movie. You know what I'm saying? Let's come together. We all have personality. It's personality within everybody around us. If we build out the personality and put a story around it, we can make an amazing feature-length film. Let's put our dollars together. I'm a script writer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a videographer. You know, I'm here to get the job done. I think we could do a rom-com. We're working on a short film now, so it's like a 3-minute film. You know what I'm saying? I think once people see it, they're going to really be like, okay, we want to see more.
Yeah.
That's our attention. I actually talked to Brother Daniel yesterday at Bible class.
What he said?
He said he about to read the script. He said they're doing a baptism on January 20th.
Bro.
So he said we could probably shoot the next day, January 21st.
That's awesome.
What you think?
Great, yes.
You think that's possible?
Yeah.
He said he gonna read the script. He said he's looking forward to
It's
it.
Chase's birthday.
That's Chase's birthday? I was just talking to Chase. He was just wondering if he should get baptized. Maybe we should ask Chase if he want to get baptized that day too.
That's gonna be crazy.
Chase, maybe Aham might get baptized just for the flick at least. Aham might do it for the picture. Aham, just do it for the photo.
He don't get baptized. That's
You know that's gonna be legendary, Blue. We see you there coming out the water. He might do it.
Holding hands.
Yeah, more.
One person get baptized.
Definitely. I feel like that add to the message. You feel me? Different people, men, women. So we should really start reaching out to some people we know. Like, man, it's a movie, but the guys that's baptizing you, they probably gonna be. It's gonna be serious.
Baptized for real, though.
Yeah, Moshe getting baptized for real. So, just but I think it's a short film, holding hands. If y'all want to be a part of it, if y'all want to be a part of the baptism scene, I need to be a part of that baptism scene. I ain't gonna hold you. I might be in that scene too. I don't know. Should Tony X make an appearance?
That'd be raw.
Yeah. Is that how Moshe and Tony X, Moses and Tony X meet?
I mean, I don't know. Cause don't you have a scene in the beginning where you coming out water?
Yeah.
We can talk about that later.
You don't want to reveal too much?
It's like the dream I had, huh?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know. Man, yeah. So yeah, we got the rom-com concept. I know Moshe was talking about owning real estate. You know what I'm saying? You know, thank God we actually downtown now in the Chicago Pedway. It's like we got real estate.
Yeah,
You know
we
what I'm saying?
do.
We making things shake. We here. Savannah taking chances. You know, she going out here. If she see an opportunity, she not, you know, thinking too hard about it. She willing to make a mistake. But my question for you, Savannah, what would you say gives you your fearlessness in your decision making? And Moshe, I feel like you're a pretty fearless individual too. If you want to speak on that.
This is such an interesting question. I actually remember the first time that somebody called me brave, or at least that I remember. And I was like older at that point. I was probably maybe 19 or 20, so it wasn't that long ago. But I'd never really thought about myself like that, to be honest with you. The way I like to describe it is that I'm a pull the trigger type of person. And I don't mean that in like a trigger happy kind of way, more so in a I trust myself to make the right decisions at the right time and to be patient and graceful when I need to be and quiet, but also to, I don't know, take action when action needs to be had, you know? Yeah. But I would say that maybe time in nature has helped me develop some of that too, especially when it comes to like, have you ever hunted for something? Or fished? Mm-hmm.
Fished.
Yeah. So there's like, I don't know, something interesting about the relationship to something that you pursue that is not as actionably powerful against you, you know? So I don't know if like where the source of bravery really is, but I guess it's in finding some balance between like
I love New York.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what's up. Represent. Even in Chicago, I love New York. I know. I really wish they could see her right now, but.
Welcome to this camera. I'm telling her to step in.
Yeah. Right. But yeah. Anyway, so let's see what you have to say about the bravery thing. But yeah, I don't know.
Bravery. Nah, it's be moments where I'll be scared, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be like, dang, should I do this? It's like it be that voice in your head that's kind of like holding you back, and you kind of listen to it in a way, you know. And it's really just the devil just really trying to hold you back, because it be moments you may feel like you should be doing a certain thing, like something that's calling you to do something, and it's another voice is like saying like, oh nah, you tired, or nah, it wouldn't come out right, or you know. Just different things, but it's moments where I can showcase bravery. Just I feel like I can talk in front of a huge audience if I had to. You feel me? Like it's something I feel like I could do. Like it's really just the energy that I receive from a large group of people. You know, and it's like we trade energy. Like you feel me? They giving me energy and I'm giving them energy. You know, when it comes to it could be performing in front of an audience, speaking in front of an audience. You know. Really just what's the setting, you know, what's the, like, somebody like Travis Scott, like, his audience energizes him, and he energizes the audience just off his music, his presence, you know. Barack Obama, his audience, they get revved off just off his words, you know. He could be saying something powerful, and that just gets them hyped up, you know. So, yeah.
Man, you know, I feel like, you know, that what you pointing out is like just really feeding off that energy. I think that's a powerful imagination. I almost think about the fishing or the hunting. Like, what's that energy feed there? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could open up with a scripture on the next one, but I definitely want to dive into that more.
Go for it.
What? Read it.
Yeah.
The arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not like there. It says upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. That's Job 41. That took me 40 seconds, you know what I'm saying? I probably could have read it slower, you know what I'm saying? And really just imagining, like, how does that sound as a monologue? Like, I read Job not long ago, and I was really considering, like, what if Denzel Washington played Job? And at the end, Moshe, and it's a character that comes at the end that is like this young man, you know what I'm saying? And he has a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And he went to tell Job, like, hey, I listened in on the whole conversation between you and your friends. And y'all had a lot to say. I don't know what's going on. Like, you know, this is just like a young man. It's like almost like a stranger. Or maybe he's a mentee. I don't know who he is really, but he's there. And he ended up having like the word to like Job and his friends to say, hey, y'all didn't consider God in this way. You know what I'm saying? And I think in considering God, you know, I feel like everything that happened to Job probably put some fear in him too. You know what I'm saying? He's really kind of looking at life differently, his friends. And the young man, you know, just asking about considering God, you know. And at the end of the Job, you read how, you know, Job, he prayed for his friends. And whenever he prayed for his friends, his captivity was like reversed. You know what I'm saying? And I think just really the energy you put out does kind of come back in some way because his friends kind of bothered him, you know, but he still decided to pray for him. He still said something positive for him. And the young man, you know, brought this light to him in a new way, you know. But I don't know, I just want to direct films at the point where it's like we having conversations about things. I've seen people reference Job in films. A lot of times in the film universe, you know, I think the scripture, the Bible, is highly referenced, you know what I'm saying, within filmmaking, you know. And I feel like that's even an interesting conversation. Like, what movies were inspired by film in some way? Even Training Day, you know, Denzel, they say he wrote at the end of the script, you know, the wages of sin is death. You know, so if he was going to play that character, he felt like the character eventually had to die.
So, Savannah, what's your favorite song right now? So if you had a song like that, this song get me lit. Like, every time I turn this song on, I'm lit. I'm turned up. Do you have a song like that?
Yes. Well, so I listen to a lot of different music, like a lot. Everything.
What's that
But
song for you? Like
right now, because I need a little laughter in my life, I've been enjoying When It Rains, It Pours. It's something like that. It's by Luke Combs. I mean, there's different iterations of it. But anyway, it's a country song, but it's funny. It's like just on that concept, when it rains, it pours, both in a good way and a bad way. So if I'm feeling a little down, I put that on and it makes me feel better. But there's a lot of songs that make me kind of feel different ways. So I've also been listening to Ambition a lot. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, recently with music, I feel like I've been listening to a lot of different music as well. And I feel like music is really powerful because, like, I feel like the music I listen to kind of guides your energy in a way. Like, if you listen to something real turned up, then you're going to be real amped up. You're going to be real, like, you're going to be activated.
Definitely.
But if you listen to some relaxed, smooth, soothing, you feel me, that's going to be your vibe, you know. That'd be a good experiment. It's like I put somebody in the room, turn on some lit music, and have them go out into the world. You feel me? They listen to this music for a whole hour or 2 hours, and they go out into the world. You know, see how their energy is. But I feel like me personally, recently I've been working on like gauging on the things I listen to and when I listen to them. Like in the morning, I like to listen to music that's kind of relaxing and less energetic and more like, okay, vibey music. And it'd be moments like during my lunch break, I might turn on some King Carson or something, and I just be lit on my lunch break. And I go into work, and I'm just lit. You feel me? So it's just, I feel like music definitely plays a role on how you move in a way.
I kind of want to, at the end of this session, maybe just play a song. Just, I don't know. I feel like, you know, when we played Everything in Motion on that first episode, it really kind of added a break in the audio, you know, the listening experience, to have that music there, I think that's a cool moment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody even asked me, they said, "Man, y'all playing music on the podcast?" Somebody asked me that. I was like, "Yeah, we on the first episode. We got a song."
Music we play, we should have something that's we got the rights to.
Well, I want to play some higher synthesis.
Copyright.
I want to play some higher synthesis after
That's cool.
a track from higher synthesis at some point. I feel like, just even considering that experiment, I feel like anybody like listening to the podcast, they get to this point and they hear, I'm gonna play a track at random, you know what I'm saying? And you hear a track off of higher synthesis, it's like it's a certain sonic that come from that tape. Higher synthesis is a tape by Yassine Llewellyn, who actually has a collection in Space Now. It's a red hoodie to the right of Moshe on screen. That's probably what, screen left. So it's a red hoodie designed by Yassine Llewellyn. He dropped a LP tape called Higher Synthesis, and I've listened to that tape a few times, creating art, painting, and it really motivates me whenever I'm creating. It really gives me I want to listen to the tape probably more than once. Like I think anytime I listen to it, I always listen to it at least twice, back to back. Yeah, I love that piece. It get me amped up, and then it kind of lead me into like just some of the depths of hip hop. I feel like when I listen to that project, it really, I get to like now I want to listen to Nas right after for some reason. Like my next step is Nas. Like I'm kind of then Jay-Z. Like I don't know, it's like in that realm. You know what I'm saying? A hip hop, and I feel like he really exploring it in a unique way. Including fashion. I've been kind of studying music too in a unique way too. Sound. Like right now I'm reading the Bible and I'm in the book of Psalms, and I discovered that the book of Psalms is actually, originally it was all songs. And we consider like at some point they documented these songs, there's 150 of them, written really across the span of the nation of Israel, from David, Moses, Solomon. It's a guy, I think his name is like Asphalt. He was like he was a writer. But in the days of Israel, he was around David, King David, and they documented Psalms, but they said these were all songs. It's breaks in the music, and at one point I was reading in the Bible in particular where the singers and the priests were almost in the same category of people. And I think now, like, something like a priest, I feel like we don't probably have the best example of priest modern day. I don't know. When we hear that word, I don't know what we kind of understand from it as a collective, but I feel like the priest title, like, it's something that we probably need to study up on more. But you also read about the singer being in the same conversation as the priest. Whenever you read the Bible, it's literal verses you can find. Just do some research, search it. I could probably find one, but it say like singer and the priest together. It's like, with those being together, what's the power of a singer? You know what I'm saying? What's the power of the song? Some people tell me that the music just really motivate their day. Like, music is powerful. I ain't gonna hold you. It's like, I don't know if anybody else want to speak on. Mo, you go.
Yeah, music is powerful. Definitely. Want to play something from your same project?
Yeah,
Throw something on.
On TV.
Just play on your phone, bro. Just play on your phone. Yes. Play it off the phone. Play it off the phone. Play it off the phone. Play.
You feel like nowadays, whenever somebody might be discovering your music for the first time. Nowadays, like, somebody could be discovering your music for the first time, or maybe even this is all they got access to. Like, I wonder how many people just really listen to music off of their phone. You know what I'm saying? Just phone speaker. They just want to get the song off, and they, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I remember Yassine had his higher synthesis listening party at the gallery. That was like a great moment. The whole vibe in this space was different. Right now we chilling, you feel me? We just vibing. But it was like a lot of people coming in and out. We got the DJ booth right here. People buying, like, he's selling his merch, he's selling his CDs. It was really a vibe, I ain't gonna lie to you. He making speeches. You feel me? People hanging outside the gallery.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we be lit. Like when we have little events in here, we be lit. Like it be different. Like somebody might be over there having a conversation. You feel me? It might be a whole conversation happening in this area. So it really just be like a get together. But yeah, 2024, we definitely gonna come with a lot more just events, really. You know, we had a strong 2023 when it came to, events.
Yeah, I agree. Ready?
Yes, sir. Play song.
See,
What?
I'm off of Spotify, man.
You wanna play that by phone?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna throw it on YouTube.
I can play it off my phone, bro. What's how you spell it? How you spell it?
Hey, I'm
There you go.
having the same issues. Like, man, I feel like that's when that dyslexia come in. You like, man, I'm a lot.
Which one should I play? I'm finna play the synthesis.
The sooner you can match what's in your head with what's going on in the real world, the better you're gonna feel. The better you're gonna feel. Higher synthesis. The better you're gonna feel. The better you're gonna feel. The better you're gonna feel.
Street Radio. We got Yassine Llewellyn. The Synthesis LP. Go cop it now. It's on Spotify, Apple Music. Your name is in the pot. So we back, man. I got some like icebreaker questions. We can. Y'all trying to jump into some icebreaker questions? Well, I guess you can call it icebreaker. Oh, it's just like some fun questions we can just answer. Open up our brains for a moment. So the first question we all can answer. I guess I could start since I got the mic. It says, if you could change one event in history, what would it be and why? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pass it to the left.
Yep.
And it can come back to me.
Perfect.
What's the question?
It says, if you could change one event in history, what would it be and why?
If I could change one thing in history, it would be man never knowing the knowledge of good and evil.
Why?
Oh, why? I'm quick just to...
And why, sir?
And why? Everybody always want to know why. I guess that is the answer. The answer really come with the why, I guess. But sometimes it's like another question come. Like, okay, you're right. Why? Growing up, it's like I learned that you know, when Adam and Eve, who's the parents of this world, at one point they got knowledge of good and evil. Once they gained knowledge of good and evil, then that's when man learned about just being able to do good and bad, basically. Like before that, we were just kind of living life. We didn't really know about good, like that. Now we kind of got this inherent like guilt that we feel. You kind of know, okay, that was either good or bad. But at some point in time, we didn't have that instinct. Once we gained that, that's really what kind of led to sin and death. You know what I'm saying? And with that, pretty much God, he pretty much had to take away the tree of life from us because, you know, if we was able to live forever and then we was doing evil at the same time, it's like this. Imagine like some of the most evil men and women just still causing terror on this world. Like, there's some powerful people that lived across time. Like when you just look across time, imagine if everybody was still here. This world would be different. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like God put it in a way where we had to die at some point because really what we knew, you know. I believe really if we never had knowledge of good and evil, at some point our bodies would just kind of grow into this new state naturally. And once you grow into that new state, it's like almost a new state of being, in which I think some men and women have accomplished over time. But, you know, I think right now we die, but I do think we resurrect, you know what I'm saying? I think eventually our bodies return in a new form, you know. But yeah, that's my why.
You got something? No?
You want me to answer the same question?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay. Well, this is a very tough question to answer, to be honest with you. And it's mostly because, kind of as an extension of what Amaz was saying, people, just about every 100 years, right, we get a whole new population set. So it's hard to say what you would change that an individual or a person has done. And then also to even think about impact as anything outside of a collective is also tough. So I don't know. Then what's remaining, if we don't talk about like what people have done, is, I guess, like climatic events and things like that. You know what I mean? Like stuff that we don't control anyway. So I don't have a great answer to this because I don't know that I believe we can change it even if we wanted to.
Right. Gotta say all this.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, everything I just said is like, I probably just took myself out of reality. I don't even exist anymore. Just basically, if Adam and Eve never ate of that tree, would I even be here at this point? Probably not. Not in this way. You know what I'm saying? And just me changing at one moment in time, what does my existence become? You know what I'm saying? Do I still exist? Or did my beginning begin when I was born? Or was there an existence of me before that time? And when you look at Adam and Eve, like even Adam, you know, because I think Adam existed before he was born as a man, you know what I'm saying? Even Jesus was considered the last Adam, you know, and he had existence before he was born. So I think in that, you know, Jesus being the example, if he is an example for anyone of time or of a man or a person, if you're looking at him, just know that Jesus existed before he was born through Mary. So when you look at Adam, did he exist before he was born through Mary? Did I exist before I was born through my mother? All of us here, like, I think at some point we all existed before this moment.
Man, my answer, both of y'all answers was great answers, you know. You know, my answer is kind of similar to both of you. It's like both of y'all answers combined, like, because hearing both of y'all answers kind of changed the original answer I had.
Influenced you.
You feel me? So I feel like me personally, everything that happens, it was prophesied. God knew it was going to happen. Like slavery, Jim Crow, COVID-19, like all this stuff that happened throughout the world. God, he's the ultimate controller of everything. So it's like, I don't want to say I change anything that he's brought unto us because maybe we deserved it in some way. Or maybe you never know the ending image is gonna look based off what we've been through as a human race. You feel me? So, I mean, if I can change, if it was up to me to change any historical event, I would say slavery, because I feel like slavery just created just a divide in people, not really feeling as one, not being as one, because I feel like slavery, all types of slavery, like not African Americans, but the Africans. It's a lot of different races that's been in slavery, but I feel like slavery just created that divide in people. You feel me? And kind of created like racism and just hate in the world. Between just I feel like we all white, black, Indian, Chinese. At the end of the day, we all humans. We all got arms, legs. You feel me? God created all of us, so really we all one. You feel me? I feel like as the human mind, but God, in a way, that's how it's supposed to be. But still, it would be good if people didn't really go at it, like wars and just violence just over the small things, really.
You got me thinking about shit, like, what's the end to that? Like, what's that day when the wars come to the end, the slavery, the violence? What's that day when we say, man, you know what, I ain't got to kill you. You could look at a man, you could look at a woman, but it's like, is there ever a time to kill? You know what I'm saying? Or does that time come when you like, man, we done killing? You know what I'm saying? But it's like this world, we at a point now where it's like, you got to kind of defend yourself at some point. You know what I'm saying? At least you got to understand how to defend yourself. Like, even if you're watching film, like I watched Super Mario Brothers last night. And only way that film really worked, it had to have been some sort of conflict. Browser versus the city of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching the movie, it's like Mario got to fight this guy off at some point, and it's not pretty, That's like the whole storyline. That's what make it good, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, that's the world that we in now. It's like, okay, I end slavery, but I wouldn't even be able to talk about Harriet Tubman if it weren't for slavery. Like, she got up out of that. She said, you know what, y'all tripping, I'm gone. Went north just to come back. I feel like that's my story sometimes. Like, I went north just to come back. You feel me? Because, you got that slave to understand they was free the whole time. And it's like, what brought the slaves into slavery, if you were kings and queens at some point, you feel me? Y'all was the greatest nation ever. And then at some point you end up becoming enslaved. What took away your power? You know what I'm saying? Because if you was ruling and you became slaves or something, it was a slip up at some point. You feel me? And now we at a point, it's like, okay, could we go back into slavery? Are we still enslaved? But what's going to give us the opportunity to, grow? Really, I think we lost connection with God in particular. Like, we really dropped the ball with God. We stopped keeping the Sabbath. And it's not even the whole world, really. It's really God's chosen. God He chose a certain people to do certain things, and they stopped doing them. You feel me? And those people, once they start doing them in that action and in that practice, they influence the world to do the same once they start seeing the benefit of doing this. And it's like, you're not really harming nobody. It's really simple as loving, spreading love. Like, that's a simple mission. You know what I'm saying? But we confuse these days of what love is because, the yin yang, the other side of it, So I feel like, it's like slavery. I don't know. It's like you don't want to. That's why I want to make movies. I feel like movies is a great place to have these conversations. It's always been like a opportunity for storytelling. Like, you got people that stand on stage. I'm the grandmaster storyteller. There once was a boy that stood in the flame. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all kinds of storytelling. But yeah, even this is a story right here. Fraternal twins. Emmy and Wi-Fi, they journey off to another time period of Earth 1099, in which China and Israel are the only ruling powers, and 80% of the nation is either a robot or an android. You know what I'm saying? Wi-Fi and Emmy, they some of the only humans there on this Earth, complete humans. because of that, they become reverenced by the rest of the men and people on the other land. Then you got Bluetooth. He really like the highest power. You got Bluetooth. He's a black and Chinese man. They look at him as a king. You know, he got a whole army. They call it Bluetooth's army, you know. And it's a lot of people on this army. But then you also got the Chinese king. His name is Song, Emperor Song. He really ruling too, but his brother is Bluetooth. And his brother is also an Israelite as well, who is the other king of Israel. You feel me? A black man, though. Not the people that's today that's Jewish. You feel me? This black man, he mirrors the story of Samuel. If you read the book of Samuel, he the king, but he on his deathbed. His son resembles like a young David. You feel me? And, you know, Wi-Fi and Amy, they journey off into this world. It's a war going on. Bluetooth got an army. China done took over the whole world. The only remaining nation left is Israel. And it's like China, eventually, they're trying to take over Israel, and they want to do it with the help of Bluetooth. But Bluetooth, he got an ultimate plan, you feel me? It's an interesting story of time. There's some slavery in there. Slavery, you know, if they robots, the word robot, I learned. I'm actually a substitute teacher now. I learned this from one of the sixth graders. We looking at robot. We learned it. We're like, what's a robot? We looking it up. We learned that the term robot came in the 1920s from a science fiction novel. And what a robot is a forced laborer. That's what a robot is. That's the original definition of robot. And you see this image of like these men like stuck. They robots. They men though. This was in the science fiction. And now we got Siri. You got any more questions, Mo? Like, I'm over here rambling.
My yapping time, man. I'm like, in my head, like, this man yapping right now. This man, imagine. No, that's, hey, all the information you just shared, man. Hey, somebody gonna hear like, but dang, that man speaking.
I hope somebody receives something for that.
Oh yeah, somebody. Hey, I received something. I want to touch on what you said about just slavery and the people and all the different historical figures that came from just these different events. And the question that came into my mind, okay, if slavery didn't happen, would Harriet Tubman, would she be great in another area? You feel me?
What's her story outside of slavery?
What's her story outside of slavery, you know? You know, of course, she did amazing, like, great superwoman type things with just helping all those slaves escape slavery. But if she wasn't a slave, what would her story be? It's just a thought, really.
That's a great thought. That's probably Jesus. Harriet Tubman.
Yeah. No
It's
time.
probably Christ. I say Harriet Tubman is Christ. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of the figure, if you look at what Christ is, even when you read the Bible, it's that Christ is in all and Christ is all. So if you look at across time, somebody like Harriet Tubman, she had an image in a sense. You know what I'm saying? They even want to put her on a $20 bill.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that about just everybody, really, because God made us in his image, so, you know, of course, yeah, she did great things, but shoot, everybody does great things eventually. At least one point in your life, you've done something that was, you know, a good act, a great act, you feel me? But sometimes, you never know, there's probably people out there. I don't know, I feel like everybody has done something good in their life. You know, I don't feel like there's one person that hasn't done anything good. What you think?
Well, I honestly was just thinking a lot about conflict and where conflict comes from. Like, why do we have these things happen at all, right? And I think it's because we try to own things that cannot be owned, you know, like love or the earth or ideas, you know what I mean? Like stuff that kind of, I suppose it just in my mind doesn't really have specific ownership rights, you know? So I think when we create these desires to control, right, that's where the conflict arises. Is it another person with an I Love New York shirt? No, that was a joke.
It's a lady, man. She come by the gallery sometime.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I let her use my phone, man.
That's her?
Yeah.
No.
She said it ain't for about an hour, man.
That's her right there?
Yeah.
She fresh. Where's she going?
The lady told me she owned a patent.
She what?
She said she owns a patent.
Oh, that's good.
She said that she kind of, the government after her.
So she on the FBI most.
Well, the government's sort of after us all. Thank you, YouTube. All right. Do you have another creative question for us, or?
Oh yes, yes I do.
Okay, talk to us.
So another question is, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, what advice would you give?
I would say to pray for your friends, which already came up today. So it's interesting that this question kind of circled us back there. But one theme, and this came up at a dinner that I hosted at my house this summer, but one theme of the year has been how faith is just the absence of doubt, right? And sometimes, even though it feels like you're running in place, you must keep going and have faith in your destination or in your path, or, that you will be led or guided somewhere, right? And of course, you want to put effort into getting somewhere. Like, we talk about this all the time about measuring the millionaires in progress and stuff, but there has to be kind of a balance between that, like, data, science, math part, and a little bit of the art. So anyway, back to saying kind of what advice I would give my younger self. I would say pray for your friends. Avoiding that conflict that I mentioned earlier is also going to require community. And I feel like if there's anything I've learned as an entrepreneur, it's been that, the fuels of entrepreneurship are relationships and capital. And so if you're in a situation where you don't have money or you don't have access, to some sort of asset that can put you ahead, a resource, whatever, then your relationships are paramount. And so if you're constantly looking to elevate your community, that in turn will free you. And I really believe that. So whether it's small gestures of purchasing things from other entrepreneurs, or sometimes it's grand gestures of supporting them all the way, like playing their songs in the middle of your recordings, I think that's what I would say to myself. Just keep on pouring into those around you. And extend that faith. I feel like sometimes people tell me a lot, like I'm either their good luck charm, or maybe I'm somebody who they feel like they can call when they just need a little boost of faith or belief in themselves. And I really, I love being that. I love being that for people, because I really do. I'm dumb enough to believe in everybody.
Yeah. Man, I want to respond to that, and I want to answer the question too. Just considering, what I would tell my younger self. I feel like I'm always constantly speaking to my younger self. I feel like even at this moment, I'm really my youngest self. You know what I'm saying? And like, time is constantly evolving. It's like I'm getting older. I'm getting younger. Just depending on however, I might look at time. I feel like just even praying for your friends, man, is so pivotal. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning more about what a friend is every day, who friends are. Even in my journey, I realized this too as I got a lot older. Even looking at my younger self, I really almost consider everybody a friend at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could look at anybody and be like, okay, that's my friend. And it could be dangerous at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, once you kind of in everybody's corner, it's like you kind of can divide yourself up so much that it could become straining. You know what I'm saying? But for me really, it's just about just love, just spreading love, you know what I'm saying? And just even getting into that prayer, like, I'm sitting there thinking, it's like when you pray, you could be praying for somebody that's your friend, but they might have died. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at that point, are you praying for the dead at some point? Or it's like, now that you're praying, you're keeping them in your prayers, that what keeps them alive at some point, in your mind, in your journey, because, I don't know my tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? At some point, I could be forgotten, but you never know. Like, I could live on at some point. Is it through the mouth of man on this earth, or is it in some other reality or realm, or am I just dust? Is that my existence? I'm back to the dust, now I'm a star. I'm a grain of sand at some point, And it's like, now, when I just look at my younger self, I just say, man, just keep going. just have confidence in God, have faith in God, really, truly. You know, I know Savannah asked me yesterday, like, you know, I mean, not yesterday. It seemed like it's nighttime or something, being underground once you get into the Pedway. But it's like, earlier, you was like, don't you believe in the Bible? Or, you know, I think that's what you asked me. It's like, I do.
If you follow it.
If I follow the Bible. Oh, yes, if I follow the Bible. And I share what I say, really, I follow God, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of, like, the journey, you know what I'm saying? But the Bible does become, like, this guiding point. Like, the Bible is like a road map. It's like Google Maps, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But, yeah, my younger self, you know, just keep going. I say just stay faithful. Stay faithful. Keep the faith. Think big. Think as big as you can and do it. And don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to. It ain't always about being cute. I think even as a kid, like I felt that I was ugly at certain points, and I wanted to figure out how could I become cute. And maybe it's because I don't know. Maybe I got such a deep memory. Maybe as a baby, people were saying, "Man, you cute." You know what I'm saying? You might have heard that as a little baby or something. You just remember it at some point. You're like, "Man, I'm cute." And you get a lot older, and you might not hear it as much. You know what I'm saying? And you really like, man, am I ugly? You know what I'm saying? Even as a baby. I'm pretty sure babies get that all the time. You're always so cute. And you like, man, at some point, I remember I was like 10 years old, like 6 or something. I'm like, man, I must be ugly. That's what I thought. You feel me? I remember I told my sister Lee, I said, man, I'm ugly. You know? She said, you're not ugly. And like, that meant so much for me just to hear my sister say you're not ugly. I can remember that moment. I was a kid. I was probably like between 6 or something like that, 6 or 10. But it's like, yeah, that's why I would tell my younger self, man, just don't be afraid to be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be ugly if you got to, but just be you.
Nah, you spitting facts, bro. I see. My answer is related to both of y'all answers, really. In a way, it's really just if I can give my younger self any advice, it would just be yourself. You know, it's so many things I could tell it's not one thing I could tell my younger self, because it's like in life you gonna face different challenges that you may not expect. You know that you may not have the proper training as a kid to handle or deal with. So it's really just enjoy life. Really enjoy life to the fullest. That's all I tell my younger self. Just enjoy life, enjoy the good times, and I know it may be hard to enjoy the bad times, but you gotta enjoy those times too, and those moments. Just really enjoy life. Just be blessed to be living. I know that's hard, even if you're going through. It's people that's going through grief. It's people that's going through just sickness. So it may be hard for those people to enjoy life, but always just keeping your faith strong is important when you just living. So yeah.
And I feel like this is a beautiful moment, really, to kind of speak to our younger selves. Because I think even at some point we kind of forget our younger selves, you know what I'm saying? And like kind of even looking at this moment, it's like, I mean, as a child, I had a lot of moments when I was sick, you know what I'm saying? Like, just sick, like, man, I'm a kid, and you fighting through that sickness. Sometimes as a kid, you almost wish you wasn't sick because you want to go outside and play. It's like, why am I sick, It's not easy being sick. And I feel like at some point we all really experience that sickness. But I think within that sickness, that could be a test of faith sometimes. Like, do you give up or do you continue to believe that you can overcome and be alive, really? You know what I'm saying? And I think really at some point we're really all sick, in this world, as we kind of coming out of COVID. That's one of the moments I think we kind of realize that as a world. It's like, man, we all sick right now. Then we kind of look at what COVID was, really. It's like, we all sick. You got to get vaccinated, put on your mask, don't touch me. But it's like, is that if somebody's sick, I think really what we need to be is embracing one another and, like, going to that sick person and, like, man, I'm here for you. Because now the person that's healthy is afraid to become sick. It's like, are you really healthy then? You know what I'm saying? There's so much fear in this world, And I think we need to learn where our fear really should be going. You know what I'm saying? I never been vaccinated. I didn't get vaccinated. I I don't know. They said the TB shot might have been a vaccine. I got the TB shot. You feel me? I got different things. Probably even as a baby, I got a spinal tap. You know, things just stuck inside my body, foreign objects. You feel me? At some point, being a baby and then growing up, becoming a man, it's like now my body is fighting off something. They said I needed to be alive, but it's like, was it really that I needed, or was it some faith? You know, I know I could talk all day. Got any more questions?
Nah, what you said is definitely powerful. You know, I got multiple shots in my ass. I mean, the first time I got sick, I could not breathe. Like, I don't know how it started. I just remember I just couldn't breathe. I could barely talk. We just at the crib chilling, and it's like it just came on me. Like I couldn't breathe. I was like I didn't have no oxygen really. I could even talk really. And I don't know if I was having an asthma attack or what, but I just couldn't breathe. And my parents had to take me to the ER, the emergency room. And before I went to the emergency room, my pops is telling me, because I know when I go, if you go into the doctor, it's 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a shot. You feel me? So they tell me I'm finna go to the ER in my head, like, okay, I'm finna get a shot. Like, ain't no way I'm coming out that ER without a shot. Like, I'm like, I don't want to go to the ER. And I'm asking my dad, like, are they going to give me a shot? Yeah. They're not going to give you a shot. They're not going to give you a shot. Like, you're not finna get a shot. So, okay, that made me feel a little bit more comfortable with going to the ER. Okay, I don't know how old I am. I'm young, though. I'm a kid. So it's like, I don't know if it's a school night, weekend, summertime. I forgot what season we was in, but me and my mom end up going to the ER late at night, you know. And we there, they got me on a breathing machine, you feel me? I'm breathing through the tube. Like, I really feel like I'm sick. Like, dang. As a kid, like, it felt like a movie. Like, I really was having fun with it. But at the same time, I know I was going through something. You feel me? And I was at a point, we at the, I'm laying down at the,
Yo, what's going on, Mike?
How you doing? I'm laying down on the table, right? And I got the breathing thing in my nose, and I'm steady pulling it out. And they like, no, put it back in, like, cause it was just irritating, like it was up my nose.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, then it got to a point where it's like, they come into the room. And at this point, like I could barely breathe, like I could barely talk. And they pull my mother to the side. I just hear them talking. They're like, yeah, we're going to give him a shot. I just hear them say, like, they're going to give me a shot. I instantly start going crazy. I take the thing out my nose. I get off the table. I get off the bed. I run under the table. Like, my dad said, I don't got to get a shot. My dad said, I don't got to get a shot. I kept saying that. But I could barely get it out because I can't breathe. You feel me? So I'm barely getting these words out while trying to not get this shot, you feel me?
Yeah, they put you in a new panic.
My mom said they had to get like 3 doctors to hold me down, flip me over to give me the shot in my butt. They had to give me the shot in my butt, bro. And I think it was a penicillin shot. And ever since that moment, it's like, man, my vision started going bad, and like I had to get 2 shots in my butt. It was one moment I went to the ER, and another moment. Man, I don't know if those moments has made me not like the doctor, because I haven't been to the doctor in a long time. Like to get a checkup, you feel me? To check out my body. I haven't been to the doctor in a minute. You know? And I feel like I need to, but it's like those moments were so traumatizing as a kid. Like I don't even like the doctor, you know?
Yes, I do.
I'm sitting here hearing this story, and I was there the whole time. I'm watching the whole thing, and honestly, you know, Moshe was actually just sick probably about a week or so ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Like that, you know, it was a tough time. I hear Mom and Pop's talking, you know, I'm in another room, but I hear him speaking, and they say, man, I remember, you know, when Moshe got real sick, when him and Amaz was kids, that made me realize how close they was, because Amaz was almost going through it worse than Moshe, crying, just really thinking about him, you know. And I'm like, man, at that moment, I was like, you know, just think about when you was sick last time. Like, I felt the same way. I'm like, man, Moshe going through it. I'm going through it too. It's like I can't even think straight. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, I'm glad that, you healthy. And that's like it's snowing outside. Savannah said, man, don't. I hope the snow don't get me sick. You know what I'm saying? And we like really, you really want to have that mindset of like, just don't be sick. We all are sick. Like, you got to pray for healing. You ask God to heal you. You know what I'm saying? But to have that ability to be healed, like Jesus was healing people. The sick, they just had to believe. It was actually one guy that said, help my unbelief. He told this to Jesus. He said, I believe, but can you help my unbelief? And Jesus healed his son. I think he might have even brought him back from the dead. And you just consider these moments. Jesus rose from the dead. It's like, do we got the same ability? Man, with the power of the spirit, your power of the mind, it's a lot. Sickness is an interesting thing, we in it. It's 2023. We're going on 2024. 2020 was a big year.
Huge.
That's when they was really talking about sickness on the news a lot more, you know what I'm saying? But
Definitely.
I don't know. Yeah. Savannah, I want to hear your voice. I just want to hear. I want to give a quick shout out to the audience too. Mike, thank you. We recording a podcast right now.
Okay.
If you want to give a shout out to God, man, I definitely,
Yeah, of course.
I definitely want to hear you. Perfect timing. We got 7 minutes, so maybe 1 minute.
Yeah, of course.
Sit down right there though, so they can see you.
I just happened to walk in on this, and it's God's timing. It's all God's timing, because talking about health issues, hospitals, I've been in and out of hospitals my entire life. I had brain surgery twice before I was a year old, seizure at 6, diabetes at 14, coma at 30, another seizure at 32. And in spite of all that, my faith, it's growing even stronger because it's been tested. But when you have that faith in God, there's nothing in this world that could shake it. I don't care what the doctors say. I don't believe man's report. I believe the report of the Lord. And at the end of the day, it's about trusting him, putting faith in him, knowing that things will get better, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment. And I just wanted to share my testimony because this is so important, because nowadays it feels like people are testing us just like we're lab rats in their office. And yeah, it's hard to trust doctors, but at the same time, God puts them in place for a reason. They may not always know the right things to do, but that's when we step into prayer. That's when we step into the secret place and pray for these doctors, these nurses, the staff, and trust that he's got it under his control, because it's not up to man at the end of the day. It's all God.
Man, so in that moment, Mike, I feel like, man, those words kind of felt like we all speaking for each other at the end of the day. Like, everything you just said, like, I don't know, it's kind of felt out of body, really. You know what I'm saying? And it's like really just considering God. Like, I appreciate your hoodie, too. We don't entertain demons. You know what I'm saying? Tell the demons goodbye. At one point, I told Satan, hey, I'm sorry, man, you got to go. You kind of just kick him out your life at some point, man. That day has come. I know Moshe said he wish we could end slavery, man. I almost threw Satan in jail. Is that wrong, Moshe? Should I have locked him up or what? Tell him to go. Yeah. I don't know. What's y'all thoughts on, like, I guess in the sense of spirituality? You got 5 minutes. Angels and demons. Do you think that's something that we all battle on a day-to-day journey? Are we all facing angel and a demon, or multiple angels, multiple demons, or what's that day-to-day experience like between, an angel and a demon?
Oh, I definitely think everybody faces both. I mean, I would say that, yes, for me, I believe that we all battle angel and demons on a daily basis. And I also think, I don't know, well, a lot of it is just manifestations of the mind. So we choose our suffrage, our happiness, anything in between, you know? And so it's like how we handle them is a test of where our values are, and what we're acting in alignment with is how I feel. And so sometimes it's like easier or harder to succumb to certain things, including sickness, right? I think, you know, a lot of sickness exists in the mind, and there's been some really interesting both neuroscience as well as maybe just faith-based scripture that supports how much we actually influence our outcomes, and what those battles between what, be it multiple angels or just one of each, and kind of like what they bring to us and how we handle them as we move forward. You know, somebody this year at one of the most important events that I hosted, at least for me, where you all came to New York, that was really special to me. We did this big yacht party, and one of the girls on the boat came to me in this moment where she was like, you know, this was so important to me because this was on my vision board. I feel like I manifested this. And it was like such a stormy weekend. I think, was that the camera that went off? It sounds like it, yeah. I think we're out of storage, huh? Yeah, we're clipped. Time is up.
Keep talking though.
Time is up. Is it recording or no?
Yeah, it's still recording.
Oh, just not the video?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
I think the battery died. That's what it was. We still got 19 minutes on that.
Oh, really?
Keep talking though.
Okay, cool. Perfect. There will just be like a spinning honey pot.
Oh, yeah, that'd be funny.
Put it on a still of me.
This really day 3 of recording for us, so it's like we still learning a lot.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm super excited to be here for the process too. Okay, so where was I? Yes, so she basically explains that it was manifested or something that, again, had been kind of in her plans. And that whole day was special to me because there was so much that was just outside of my control, whether it was, the rain, the flight schedules, the, check-in process. It didn't matter how much I could have planned for. A lot of unexpected things happened. And in that moment, I had to battle angels and demons just the way anybody else who came there as a guest, as a worker, as whatever they came as, had to too. But I think the unity in it and the overall vibration is kind of what I like to focus on, I don't know. What do you think about that question?
Man, this was actually Friday. I came into work. I was just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Because I knew that day it was just going to be slow. I wasn't going to be doing nothing. And now in my mind, I'm like, man, I could be doing something way more productive in my own mind. And I'm just really telling my coworkers, like, man, I feel like recently I've been just battling with my happiness, and sometimes I allow the situation I'm in to affect how I, treat people sometimes. Because I can allow what I'm going through I can really take it out on another individual, not crazy, like I'm going in on them, but it's just like in the moment, something might agitate me, and I may express that in that moment in any way, through my words, through just my energy. So I'm really just working on just spreading more happiness instead of being so low in moments. But when the moments I am not feeling up to par, I don't really like to speak, due to the fact where I don't want to say nothing that's over the edge, you feel me? Because I really like to use my words wisely. You feel me? I really feel like that's the angel side of things, is not allowing my anger to get the best of me. So I really just, in the moments where I'm not feeling in the mood, really, I just don't like to talk as much, because I don't want to say nothing I regret,
Man, just kind of leaning into that discussion on, how our everyday mood and personality really is influenced, I think it is important for us to understand angels and demons in that moment because, we can really be guided by any thought. And if you believe that an angel and demon exists, they in the spirit form, it's like at some point, they entertain you, you know what I'm saying? They come to your mind. And it's like at that point, it's like, are you going to respond to them in the way they want you to respond? Or are you going to say, hey, you know what? I'm following God, you know what I'm saying? So in allowing God to lead you, then you end up going in the right direction. You end up hearing the right voices. If it is Satan at some point, then you just got to tell him, goodbye. Like, all right, you don't want to put energy towards that you don't put any energy really towards it at all, you know what I'm saying? So you just really start to just follow God, really. I think that's important. But even being on the yacht when we went to New York, I think that was a follow God moment for me. Even where I'm at now, it was tough for me to even go there financially. I was really considering where I was at that point. It's like, I don't know if I made him go just based off of that alone. And, just being there with my brothers, we was having a conversation about it, and they shared, like, man, I think we should go. We made it happen. And you shared with me that you had a dream about the experience, me doing live art on a yacht in New York. And would you say the dream came true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dreams are super interesting, right? Because we don't know what the source is or if they're representations of some future or some past or maybe some communication from God. It could be any alternative. I just, when I had that dream, it felt like it was given to me, not that it was like from me, if that makes sense. Yeah. And yeah, I'm so happy that you all came. I think time will tell, but that's part of the maintaining of faith, right? Where we've just kind of continued this really lovely relationship amongst like your family and mine that I think, has allowed us to prop up and hang out in different cities, have conversations like these that are organic. And it's all in that same alignment of like what it means to walk on Golden Street. And also, I think just a continuation of spreading that positivity, that joy, that love, that light in as many places as we can. So yeah, I'm glad. And that painting that you all did was your first collaboration together as brothers, which I think is very special. That painting actually made its way to Art Basel with Moshe and Malachi and I, which was really awesome. So I think we're just going to continue that legacy and understanding what is the relationship between art and generational wealth and, how we're going to bring in some real estate into our future and all of these other different elements of achieving those goals that we have, even if it was not some individual moment, it's a continuation of a legacy,
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
Man. Man. I just want to thank God for bringing these people that's in this room together right now. We had a good conversation, Definitely had some growth during this conversation. Some mental, spiritual, physical growth. So, yeah. Thank you for all the viewers, listeners of the Golden Street Speaks podcast. We got a lot of more amazing things brewing up for the podcast and just Golden Street in general. If you're ever in Chicago, make sure y'all pull up to the Golden Street Underground Market. Just hit us up on the Golden Street Instagram. Let us know you coming in town because we're not always down here. So, if you want to schedule a visit to the space, let us know. We do a lot of different events in Chicago. So if you're from Chicago listening, tap in with the Golden Street community. We're on Instagram, Golden Street __. We're on. You can catch us on the World Wide Web, www.goldenstreet.net. Me personally, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, at Ira Moshe Wright. Yeah, Savannah, you want to give your social media?
Ok, si me quieren seguir por redes sociales, me pueden perseguir en cualquier perfil. Me llamo Savannah Dorazio y me pueden conseguir con mi nombre. Okay, so there, that was in Spanish. I can also do it in French, and I'm learning Arabic, so. No, I'm not that good. I'm just joking. Anyway, yeah, thanks for having me. I love Chicago. If you're not from here like me, you come here, you visit. So just stop by this location. It is beautiful. There is art in every single corner that you can imagine. I can't wait for you all to visit and see it. We'll definitely be documenting. Today is the last day of the year. It is such a special moment for me to be able to share this time with both of you, as well as the viewers, even if you're watching this at a later date. And yeah, I'm looking forward to everything in the future. If you would like to follow me or any of my social accounts, my name is Savannah Dorazio. That's Savannah. Dorazio's D'Orazio. Thanks.
Man, shout out to God. Shout out to life. Grateful to be here. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Moshe. Shout out to Mike. Everybody in the space, just being here. We all, we actually Golden Street ambassadors. I'm wearing my ambassador pin now. It might be kind of hard to see it on the camera. Maybe, so we all got our pins. Really, the pen is just a reminder, whether you got the pen or not, the whole message is to really spread awareness of the kingdom of God and really just be able to have that conversation. I think it's important, what I'm saying? If everybody not having that conversation, some people not even aware that the kingdom of God exists. And I think once you even consider it, or once you plant that seed in your mind, you start to imagine a world outside of the world that you live in a magnificent way. And me, I'm a dreamer. I go to sleep every night. I'm in a whole nother realm. I close my eyes. I see these other realities, and it's like I know that it's always something going on at this very time. There's another world going on. Somebody, even if it's somebody's, another person's imagination or another person's home, or I'm in my car and you're in your car. You know what I'm saying? I'm in China. You in L.A. You just start to learn that there's really so many different dimensions to this life that we live, and to be reminded that while this is going on, you also have the kingdom of God in existence. It exists, it's on earth, it's in heaven. We say it in the prayer, so, thank God that we're here. If you want to tune in to me more, I'm an artist, visual artist, filmmaker. I don't even really want to put myself in that box sometimes, like, I'm son of Maz, you know what I'm saying? I'm a son. Some might call me Abba of Maz at some point, you know what I'm saying? Brother of Maz at another, and I got so many personas that, at the core of it, I'm grateful that my parents named me a Maz, because I love the name. My father gave me that name, and my mother and father, really, because they agreed on it, and I feel like me and my brothers, our names, at least for me, I think our names end up meaning a lot to us, It really probably for anybody that exists, it's like whatever your name is, it's like, man, that end up being your name. Either you keep it, you change it, but the name is a grand impact on your life. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok. You feel me? Amaz Ben Wright. If you want my phone number too, 777-777-777. Ding, 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 ding. Jackpot. I'm Jackpot, man. Jackball. We in the streets. You feel me? We in the casinos. We in life. You know what I'm saying? See, Mike got his pen. Everybody, we ambassadors. We panned up. We lit. Happy first day of the week. Thank God for the Sabbath, which is not today. It was yesterday. We resting. On the seventh day. What time is it though? 1:50.
Time to say Happy New Year.
It's about to sync up. Watch this. I wish I could put that on the camera.
Yeah, right?
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! It's New Year's, y'all. We already made it, man. We in 2026. We in a whole nother world right now,
That can't
man.
be expired.
Where y'all at? Where y'all? I'm in year 7,000, man. I made it to the kingdom. Where y'all at, man? 7,000 years of man. We didn't transcend it, man. We on the other side. We over there with Jesus and where y'all at?
Binaural beats only.
Right. What year y'all in? What year y'all in? Come on. We got one more minute. Y'all want to close it out?
All right, you.
Man, I'm in year. I don't know what year I'm in, honestly. They say it's 2023, but I don't know. I'm really just living life. You know, new year, new smear. It's another day. It's another day. You feel me? I don't really go too crazy over the new year because it's like every day I'm really working towards growth. I don't care if it's January 1st. I don't care if it's December 31st. Like, I'm working every day. You feel me? Because I fall short every day. I could January 1st, somebody December 31st could be like, man, I ain't gonna kill nobody next year. January 1st, they just murder somebody. Like, you feel me? So, but man, yeah, really just keeping God at the center, no matter what time it is. You know, time is really a thing that who knows? I look at the sun, I look at the moon, and I'm like, okay, it's night, it's a day. You feel me? Of course, the calendar helps us keep track of, I guess, time, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, when I die, the day I died doesn't really matter. At some point, the day I was born doesn't really matter, but I still celebrate it. But hey, it's always moments to celebrate, you know, because in this world, people kind of pinpoint days where, okay, I'm gonna be giving, or this day I'm gonna show some love. This day I'm gonna be turned. You can really be turned every day, you know. It's Valentine's Day every day. It's Christmas every day. Don't just have the Christmas spirit when you're on Christmas. You feel me? What is Christmas? That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast.
But we had a great convo today. What y'all say? Man, so I feel like if I give a Miles the mic, this is gonna be another 5 minutes of.
We got 6 minutes left.
We got.
Hey, every second counts.
Miles.
Mike. Mike. I feel like Mike. What's the new year to you, Mike? New year, new Mike.
That's the same old cliche, but you know, like what was being said earlier, we do all fall short, but we just take one day at a time, one moment at a time, and just live it in a way that's pleasing to God, because if we can make a difference in one person's life, that is good in and of itself. So, you know, just make every moment count. That's all I can say to that, because we're not promised tomorrow. So we just make the most of today.
Facts. Thank you for that. Thank you. Well, there you have it. Golden Street Speaks, episode 3. We moving up on the bigger and better things. We're gonna catch y'all next episode. Peace out! Let's go.
Why they lit at the very end every time?
No, next episode.